For there disappears with him all possibility of finding values in an intelligible heaven. Everything is indeed permitted if God does not exist, and man is in consequence forlorn, for he cannot find anything to depend on within or without himself. Pretty tough system, isn't it? Where does that leave the retarded, the ugly, or uneducated? Where does that place the aged and the handicapped? What hope does that offer the unborn child? Not much. Not much at all. We become nameless numbers on mislaid lists. Now, please understand, this is man's value system. It's not God's. His plan is much brighter. God, with eyes twinkling, steps up to the philosopher's blackboard and erases the never-ending, ever-repeating circle of history and replaces it with a line. A hope-filled, promising, slender line. And looking over his shoulder to see if the class is watching, he draws an arrow on the end. In God's book, man is heading somewhere. He has an amazing destiny. We are being prepared to walk down the church aisle and become the bride of Jesus. We are going to live with him, share the throne with him, reign with him. We count. We are valuable. And what's more, our worth is built in. See, if there was anything Jesus wanted everyone to understand, it was this. A person is worth something simply because he is a person. That's why he treated people the way he did. Think about it. The girl caught making undercover thunder with someone she shouldn't, he forgave her. The untouchable leper who asked for cleansing, he touched him. The blind welfare case that cluttered the roadside, he honored him. And that worn-out old windbag addicted to self-pity near the pool of Siloam, he healed it. And don't forget the classic case study on the value of a person by Luke. It's called The Tale of the Crucified Crook. If anyone was ever worthless, this one was. If any man ever deserved dying, this man probably did. If anyone was ever a loser, this guy was at the top of the list. Perhaps that's why Jesus chose him to show us what he thinks of the human race. Maybe this criminal had heard the Messiah speak. Maybe he'd seen him love the lonely. Maybe he'd watched him dine with the punks, pickpockets, and pot-mouths on the street. Or maybe not. Maybe the only thing he knew about this Messiah was what he saw now. A beaten, slashed, nail-suspended preacher. His face crimson with blood. Something, though, told him he had never been in better company. And now he realized that even though all he had was a prayer, he had finally met the one to whom he could pray. Any chance you could put in a good word for me? Consider it done. What in the world did Jesus have to gain by promising this desperado a place of honor at the banquet table? Nothing. That's the point. Listen closely. Jesus' love does not depend on what we do for him. In the eyes of the king, you have value simply because you are. You don't have to look nice or perform well. Your value is inborn. Think about that just for a minute. You are valuable because you exist. And the next time someone tries to pass you off as a cheap buy, just think about the way Jesus honors you and smile. And I do smile. It makes me smile to think that there's a grinning ex-con walking the golden streets who knows more about grace than 1,000 theologians. No one else would have given him a prayer. But in the end, that's all he had. And in the end, that's all it took. No wonder they call him a saint. You're dismissed.